I am here. Can you hear me? The attendees will get to learn the basics, the absolute basics that I believe you need to stay in the markets for many, many years and keep your head above water so that you're not burying yourself in the way that many, many people do. Many people have a boom bust cycle in terms of their approach to the markets, and I would imagine people go through a cycle of having, they start, they may be successful right off the bat, and then they get overconfident, and then they blow themselves up. So I want to reduce that pain threshold by giving them something that they can always go back to when they're stressed, whether they're beginners and they want to start off, they get something where they can learn and really make sure that they keep a level head and learn and pick up from how the markets are and learn and watch as the market develops and unfolds. So very important for me for that to happen. I lost $10 million in 6 months when I was trading, and I learned so much more from doing that, but I don't want other people to have to go through so much pain in a 6-month period. That's entirely unnecessary if you do it the right way, in my opinion. As Terry would say, I've learned that word from Terry, in my opinion. And so our lives would all be a lot better if when we get into a stress situation, we can come back to the basics, or when we start out trading, we can follow a market and learn how it moves by watching it and trading it at the same time, with having a method that will not hurt you very much when it does hurt you, and it will give you reasonable profits when it is good. And it'll also keep you out of trouble when markets are messy. So you'll get that method, and also an understanding of what sort of a trader you can be. There are two different methods of two different schools of trading, really, and I'll show which ones are which, and also how to run your stop losses, and how to manage patterns and pick tops and bottoms with the markets and follow trends. So that's on Saturday, and you can, that is normally $297. It's $257 for the full day, and it's pretty well nothing. Most people can lose that in about 2 seconds trading. Plus, you get lunch and get to meet quite a few people from the Profit Hunter group. Members will be there, actually, and it's at profithunters.com.au/events. You can get that information from, and that's coming up on your screen right now, allegedly. Yep. I don't know. You signed up for a Profit Hunter group member for quite a few years, Terry, and you just say you've spent the money. I know you do spend the money. You wouldn't. Do you spend money on cars? Yeah, I do, and that's why I selected him. I get a lot of phone calls every year with people asking to be preferred for the Profit Hunter Group and for the Australian Shares Report members, preferred brokers, and I get, literally, I knock back about 150 brokers each year who ask for that particular position, and they certainly, they want to give me money so that I'll be excited when people trade and all that sort of stuff. That's absolutely what makes me sick. Unfortunately, I don't want to make money when people trade. I just charge a subscription and teach people what to do. So that's just Let's get going. Yeah, and if people want to, I've been given permission by Profit Hunter Group member for a letter that he gave to me when he rejoined the Profit Hunter Group, and he will be there. And I think it's a really important letter to read if you are into trading or considering joining the Profit Hunter Group. Really was a beautiful letter, and Glenn will be there in person on the weekend. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's put it on the table. I had been targeting $21 and I think 15 cents or something like that for quite some time for Newcrest or NCM. We have been, Newcrest recently got up there. So straight off the bat, Newcrest got a little bit further than the perfect retracement that I had been predicting. And we can see on the monthly charts, it's formed a doji of confusion. If it breaks really below $18, Newcrest has got some trouble. I was starting to say that Newcrest had a little bit of an issue about 2 or 3 days ago, and that if it broke, I think $21, it would fall very substantially fast. There's actually something that I taught at the I teach at the Train the Chartist, which helps you identify that was reversing. So in gold, we have been shorting gold, and we shorted it. I think JR explained a couple of the trades that we've been shorting for the commodities section of the Profit Hunters Group. People who trade commodities such as gold, bonds, cocoa, coffee. Raise your hands. Who trades those markets? Who trades coffee, just type it in for me if you could, if you trade any commodities markets. And on this, we shorted. I'd been targeting that gold should get up to $1,308, 1,306, and when it got up there, we didn't short it because the strength of this trend was quite big. So what I did was we put a short on around about this day here at 1270. It broke 1270, and we went short. It dropped. It didn't drop. It dropped a little bit, but it didn't drop enough. So we exited gracefully to 1278 at 1278. So we closed out that position. Didn't actually get stopped out. We exited gracefully. It was more just getting out. Sorry, we just stopped out because we got out gracefully. It wasn't really a stop out. There's this particular way of doing that. Okay, Digby and Andrew, fantastic. So doing gold and oil. So my world was looking for gold to go short. Now, we have a trade called a back on our bikes trade, and that simply is when you've gotten out and you feel you should get back in, and it provides the right conditions. So we're now short at 1270 on gold again. We made a little donation and we're starting to make some money. So my opinion is colored by the fact that we've got a short position on. Not really. I'll tell you the way I think. I think it's completed a big 5-wave structure, and it's certainly got a double top in a downtrend. So I'm looking for gold to go eventually somewhere down into sub $1,950, maybe $875, as I have been calling for quite some time. So I've given the timing of that. If you watch the forecast that I have given for gold, I've got a specific date in mind, and we have not changed that for nearly 6 months since I set that in December last year. I don't know what Martin Armstrong does, Andrew, so I really have no clue. I don't pay attention. I've found it. I learned a little bit and listened to him probably in the mid-90s, but as in terms of following what he does, no idea. I do my own work. So gold itself, nice rally. Shame about the face. A break below 1180 is really an acceleration to the downside. So Newcrest has come back into a normal retracement. When it broke $20, all hell broke loose. I was a big bear there. I was a big bear at $30 on Newcrest. I bought Newcrest down around the $6-7 area. I got out at $12, and I didn't participate in the entire move up on Newcrest itself, but I basically picked off that low area on Newcrest before. So it was nice. $12 was okay. It was a pretty good move. So Terry, next question. Is that answer the question probably? Oh, I'm sorry. There was another question there, Terry, about the US dollar. Now, what's happening is really important in the bond market, and we have been shorting the US bond market, and I just want to talk about that. So I believe that gold and bonds move in tandem these days. We went short on the bonds at that 166. I don't have the exact trade up there. Most of you were probably not. Most of you are probably not that interested in seeing the PHG trades, but I believe John's already covered those, so we don't need to talk about them. But we're short the bonds from in this middle part here. I think we got it. Yeah, I was hoping we get a bit higher, but we're short them, and so we're looking down towards 161. Probably a little bit lower, but it's going to be hard yards because at the moment Janet Yellen's not going to raise interest rates too fast. So Terry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Yep. Yep. I sold out of some. Yeah. I bought silver at $4 US. Back in the early 90s, physical silver. Okay, let's go. Well, silver hasn't behaved. Silver was a good runner, but it hasn't behaved the same as gold, and it's been rallying on decline. Sorry, it's been declining on decreasing volume, and it's currently channeling. So recently in this period here in April, May, it's been stronger than gold, which is unusual. And we see an classic ABC pattern here. So I've been targeting 1650 for silver for a pickup, and we'll have a go at it with a low probability and what I call an LPHR trade. And I won't explain that, but an LPHR trade is what we're looking for, around somewhere between 1625 and 1650 for a rally back up to 1750. Okay, Terry. And let's get on with the Aussie stocks because most of them want to do Aussie stocks. So. Yes. British pound. I didn't know that was coming as a question. I would have put it out there because it's a bit obscure. How many people trade Forex here? Okay, now I had been targeting sub 50 pence for an Aussie dollar, and up around that 55, 54, 55 area. I kind of hoped that it would go higher for people who traveled, but I was warning people going to Europe, people were going to Britain to get their Aussies sold and buy the pounds and buy the euro, and we've seen it basically poleaxed. And recently the pound has moved up against the US dollar while the euro moved down against the US dollar, and the Swiss franc also moved down. So the pound's been strong for quite a lot of time. So my contention is that the Aussie pound, it loves to do a few things that we don't like. And what are those things that we don't like? It loves to go down to about 40. One of the things in life, I've always known that the Aussie pound has always wanted to go to about 40. And forgive me, I'm using two screens here, very unusual. I'm using two notebooks here because I've been traveling, and for some reason I couldn't get things to work as well as they could do in the place I'm staying. So just bear with me. Now this is the Aussie pound on a different setup, and I'm going to go monthly. So monthly, you can see quite clearly that we're looking down to around about 45 is the next target. Really on the bigger scale. Down there, it's a little bit overdone on the downside, but eventually around the 41, 42 area. And 40 is always an important area. Another classic trade I had was at Qantas. I had to walk into the finance director's office with the treasurer and say, at 0.33 Aussie dollars, sorry, 0.33 pence to an Aussie dollar, that it was time to actually sell forward our pounds flow for as cash flow, which was very substantial in those days because London was a big station, and hedge that. And at the same time, it was at 2 to the US dollar. So every pound you got 2 US dollars, and so it was above that. And so that was really cool because George Soros didn't actually. He was selling all the way up between 180 or 1.8 and 2.01 was the high at that time in, I think it was 1992, 1993. And I was lucky enough to get in before, when George Soros was losing money on the way up, and then on the way down, he basically joined together with the German central bank, the Bundesbank, and broke the pound from that 1.8, 1.78 area, and they kicked it again on the way down. And so that was also one of the most beautiful trades. I think one of the most proudest, because I got through the corporate bullshit to actually get the position put on. It was fantastic. Go on, Terry. Yes, there was a good setup on the top there. I thought it may go a little bit higher. I thought it might do somewhere around about, oh, where are we? Oh, that's a 60-minute chart. Goodness gracious me, what's that doing there? I thought it may just get up to that 5,500 area, but the fact is it's failed at a previous high, and basically most of the moves up were blatantly stupid. We've been shorting quite a few stocks. ANZ has been one of them since just before it paid its dividend. It's been rallying a bit, but it's failed. So I'm a bit neg on that. NAB was also another one we shorted just before its dividend was paid. We're making good money on NAB, and we actually got out for a little bit of a profit on ANZ today. So we go back in and get it with a stick. So there's a lot of reasons I don't like these ones. Westpac has been a little bit on the nose, but just totally boring. CBA is strong because of the dividends. As you can see, Westpac is probably going to get knocked off in the next couple of days as well. So so the index is always guided most often by the banks. Did JR show you the PHG trade on the good old-fashioned BHP? Okay, I'll just go and get the PHG trades up on the box so you can see what we've got on. And I think Terry actually, I noticed that when I called in, Terry's there spitting out trading orders to JR before the seminar. Terry, you said for me to focus before we do the talks. And you're there putting on SPY orders. I thought that was amazing. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't got that table. Maybe JR, if you can pull up that if JR could pull up that table. Just my little computer is spitting out these funny little things. I've shifted. No, it may come up. SPY. Yep. Yep. We shorted that we shorted that on Wednesday. We've been looking for it to rally up to about $19.50, and so we've got PHG trade short on that. Again, I'm talking my book, so take that with a grain of salt. It was fun. I went to the went along to the ATAA for the last probably 6 months. Every time I go to an ATAA meeting, I tell a trade on BHP, and this is the PHG trades. So we're over here. We're short. Our stop was at 24.58 on ANZ, so that's been stopped out. We holding 1/3 on that. BHP, you notice there's quite a few sells. BHP we sold at 18th of May. We sold 1/2, and this was actually a trade because I changed the trade in the questions. I changed it to be fully at $19.46, but because it was appearing on the PHG trade list, I booked it as the 1/2 was at $18.90 and left it as is. But most people didn't take that trade at $18.90. They sold it at $19.46. The stop loss we had on was at $20.05. Target was down to $16.81 and $14. So we're basically shooting down for that level, and we've got on here today it closed at 1871. So we were gunning for that 1840 area. Most people would have been gunning for $19.79 and not been filled. Now we've had a magical move with this. This has been absolutely one of the easiest markets to trade and to forecast, because when I go to the ATAA, I just want to tell them what to do in the markets. Is anybody an ATAA member here? Who's a member of the Australian Technical Analysts Association here? Okay. I try and get them to read charts, because when you learn how to read charts, hey Philip, how you doing? When you were there to see what I said on the Gold Coast the other day, and so when you get to learn to read charts, you can make quicker assessments. G'day Ross, how are you going? You saw that in Melbourne. Did you think they believed me what I was saying when I was saying, okay, we're looking to sell up towards $19.50 in Melbourne 2 weeks ago, and the week before last, and then I explained why the bottom was put in here. Anyway, so let's move on, Terry. So at the moment, I'm a bear on BHP. $16.81 as per the PHG trade list. Yep. Haven't looked at Flight Centre for quite some time, and what I do is I look at these things when I get time, because I'm usually answering questions for PHG members, and it's it's something that this is what I do in the evening when it's free, and we'll probably be doing this in yeah. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. They have to give it away, because when you go to the US, it's fairly punishing compared to what it used to be when a dollar bought you $1 US. And so people are not traveling to the US. So what happens is that the airlines and the travel industry tempt you with low cost airfares, and once you get there, you find out you've made a big mistake if you haven't got much money. So, yep. Oh, g'day, Mike. How you doing? Yeah, you saw me pick the top in Perth at the ATAA. In BHP when I said it's top tier today on the 21st of. So there's a few ATAA members in here. Good, good, good. I often wonder if people remember what I say. Anyway, Flight Centre is bad. Probably looking down at $24. Yeah, certainly looking down. It should have a look-see below $32 for sure. Sitting at $34.80. Yep. Yep. It's called Exit Gracefully or Fall on Sword and Live to Tell Another Tale. That's not good at all. It's a very sad chart. So crude oil, we've been targeting $48 to $50.05. At the moment, I can see no real on a long-term time frame to say that it has topped, other than to say that, yeah, on the longer term, if it's broken $45, that would give us to the downside. What has been strange, well, not so strange, but it has been giving a warning, and I've been giving a warning. I gave a warning at the ATAA, both ATAAs, about the fact that a lot of these stocks were not doing well compared to the others, to the underlying. So, for example, crude oil's been rallying quite well, and Australian oil stocks and energy stocks have been doing sad and not really moving. And we saw that with gold stocks yesterday before gold got knocked. So at the moment, I really think the $45 mark is essential. The trend is still kind of up. So I don't want to get too bearish crude oil, and I think there's probably a bit more potential. At $50, a look-see would be it there. So, okay. Yeah, with these ones, because I'm only doing this once a month, I prefer to talk about longer term in the markets, because I won't serve the people very well if I give them day trading stuff or intraday stuff. Now Santos has been rallying poorly, so I've been hoping that it will get back up to about $5.70 and then fail from there. So depending on how the Aussie dollar, how much the Aussie gets weak, and how much. What's unusual is, I think the cost of production for a barrel of oil in Santos is somewhere around $11, and at $48 or $50, you would think that Santos would be doing marvelous things. So other parts of the business are dragging it down against its oils business. So we've got some strange things. It's not behaving perfectly. And at the moment, I wouldn't like it below $3.60. Telstra. Telstra, we have been shorting Telstra. This was a case too that it got up into the area where it needed a smack on its bum, and it retraced a little bit further. It blew through one of our, I put a short on, and one of our profit owner group members said, "No, mate, your stop's too tight." We stopped ourselves out, and we've got back in on that trade, so we've got back on the bike, and at the moment we're in profit at the moment, and probably looking down to about $5.40. Currently at $5.64. Actually, Wayne's correcting me. The information I had been given said that Santos was $11 a barrel. Wayne's saying that Woodside Petroleum's at $15 a barrel, and Santos is at $48 a barrel. So as it gravitates to and gets above or moves below, Santos has some pleasure and pain. But on the flip side there, Wayne, Santos is doing pretty similar to what WPL is. And if they've got $30 a barrel difference in their cost of production, then it's whatever way it is, these charts are not fantastic. Probably WPL is a little bit better. You'd probably think about buying it down towards $25 if you saw it down there. Okay, let's move on, Terry. Basically, the bear has bolted. So what you have to do is apply trading skills with that. If you didn't already get in on the shorts, like we did with the S&P and all that sort of stuff, and you didn't get negative, this is what bear has done. And bear's been dropping down on the weeklies, and I would say if you get the chance to short it, it would probably be best around the $17.25 area for bear. I like bear, but you got to take it at the right time. It's a little bit of an ugly beast. It doesn't really have the best appearance of liquidity because of the way that it's made. We can see that. So that would be shorting bear if you were looking the market to rally. If you right now, if you are wanting to buy bear, so my brain's switching around from bear to bull and back again. We've seen a bit of a breakout now, so I'd be thinking about more down at about 1639. That would be a nice area to have a try at with a stop below, sorry, 1689 with a stop loss below 1670, $16.70. It's stopped trending down a bit, and much more safer place to buy is above $17.25. Yes, I do. Yeah. It's trading at 50 cents. It's been up to about 65 cents. The first, I can see 30 cents, but the first easiest target is 40 cents and the next one is 35 cents. So yes, I still see that, particularly after the recent price action. Okay. Well, RNS is good, except it's got a bit of a brick on its head at the moment, so it would really need to get above. Now, unfortunately, this computer doesn't give me the decimal places in the way that I like to see. It's got to really get above about 5.8 cents, in my opinion, to be great. Okay, so if we're looking to go with this on the break up, your stop's going to need to be around about 4.3 cents on the longer term. It's got some nice things about it, but the brick on its head, is not what you want to be playing with at the moment. So I'd prefer a weekly close above 6.3, sorry, about 5.3 cents to confirm that. The trend is up, but the old brick on the head, there might be some leftover selling. So RNS is not bad. I'd watch it carefully to see if it can't close the week tomorrow, not tomorrow. If it can get above 6.3 cents tomorrow, then that's good. What's the other one? TNS, was it? TRL, sorry. Hanger Resources. Obviously, this has been a fairly beautiful move for whoever bought it, or even bought it above 4 cents. 12 cents. It's quite close to completion, and it's diverging in some ways at the moment. So if you're long this, have a stop at 10 cents, and you probably see it back to 5 cents. See what's going on in the shorter stuff. Yeah, probably comes back down to about 8 cents to 9 cents shorter term as well. It's just got that I'm tired and old feeling. And usually when these little stocks break and run, you know, everyone piles into them, and it's very hard to get to the exit, and people wait and wait. And your 5 cents area is probably the best area to look for in the longer term to have another go at it. So I'd be banking some cash in both of those. And if it does break up in RNS, I'd be going for higher. I'd be getting back on the bike with the flow. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It didn't have any friends really before January 15th, 2016, and now it's trading digitally at the moment. So they're tough ones to trade, and also very boring. When you get stuck in those ranges, just go click, 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 click for ages. Okay, so to explain that's Julie's a Profit Hunter Group member, has been for quite a few years, and went to the Train the Chartist last Saturday at my house in Melbourne. And she knows that I have been not that excited or thrilled about the milk stocks for quite some time now. So it's gone through my target at $1.50, she said. And right now it's probably looking for $1.20 or $1 on the downside. And let's look on the weekly, see if we can see anything a little bit more glamorous for it. Yeah, maybe $1.19 there. I would like it better if it got above $1.70. So that's where I'd be wanting to buy the break up there. That has been squeezed, and it will be a problem child for quite some time. We've had a nice short we've been looking for a short on AMP, and it's a classic example of a stock that gets squeezed and it's just not tradable. It has not been really tradable for the past 20 odd years in AMP. It's come a bit better, but once the stock's squeezed, it's usually got some problems. Well, you can see that massive spike up, and then it falls down. That's called a squeeze. And it gets squeezed up, and then it gets smashed down. So people start to get really excited, and everyone who got sucked into that big move where it was up, 300-400% in basically a few days, and then it gets dropped down. They're all stuck in this higher levels on high volume, and they're going to provide resistance all the way up to here for a very long time, so you don't want to trade that. Oh, let's just say 1.2 cents or 1.3 cents, probably 1.3 cents. MKB. Tony Mockball. I used to live around the corner from a friend of mine, and they would say, "Look at that! That's the police checking Tony Mockbell's place." Okay, Moco Media. This was a fallen star, and it has serious problems above 2 cents. Yeah, needs to clear through 2 cents to really be alive and kicking. I have no idea what it does. Is it a media buyer for companies? Because they're dying out. It's probably got another push down to the downside. Maybe even disappears totally up its own orifice at some stage. Check the financials. It looks like it's going to God. So. EVL? Was that EVN or SAR? Okay. Oh, Evolution. Okay, sorry. Oh, and by the way, Terry was suggesting to me that it's probably better if people will appreciate this more if we charge them, a ticket price for coming to this, and that's something that I'm considering for the next event. For those people who have already booked in for it, you're grandfathered in, and somewhere Terry was suggesting $17 or $27 for people. Let me know, you're all grandfathered in, so just let me know what sort of price that it should be. Andrew said that's fair. Just let me know what sort of price you think, and I'll work through that and set where it should be, because you guys know what you get out of this. Drop it into the chat, and we'll assess that a bit later. Now, Evolution. Guys and ladies, I apologise. I don't want to be misogynist or anything, even though I am a white Australian middle-aged man, and therefore I obviously am, as well as racist. Which, yeah, Andrew says actually cheap if you can ask a question. That's true. It's true, isn't it? It's less than a tick in the SPY. I don't like it if it gets below $1.90. I do like the fact that it's kept its head above the water. So, above troubled waters, above $2 so far on the monthly. So my approach to life would be, no one's suggesting a price, $7, $17, $27, $57. Take your pick, but you're grandfathered in, you won't be paying that because you've already booked in on these ones. So on the weekly charts, we've seen a pullback, but the volume is not there yet. So Evolution is probably healthier than most gold stocks for whatever internal reasons that it has. The volume today, and we see again pattern you'll learn at Train the Chartist. Beautiful pattern that suggested where it would go to and what it would do. So probably looking for it to get into the $1.90 area, but not close below $2. So that's where your stop loss should be. Okay. What was the other one, Terry? Saracen. Yep, Saracen. So Saracen has been rocking and rolling, and if only people had kept it at 20 cents or 30 cents. It's trending on the monthly, so it's still healthy. This is a very tightly run company, and great. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. I'm glad to see you there. And thanks for the comments too, though. I appreciate that. At the moment, Saracen's a bit overloved. and probably would do with a pullback down to $1 or 90 cents, somewhere into that zone. It's trading at $1.24. So it's still can get some friends. We've seen it do a little bit of damage at the moment, but support comes in around about that $1.16. So if you're wanting to get some Saracen, you're going to get a bit of a cheaper area to buy. But I think you just want to see how the dust settles. Give it 2 or 3 days, and maybe you will get a little bit better level. But it doesn't look quite as bad as I would have thought either. Just profit under sight. People work it out. There is only one other planned at all, and that is in Canberra, in Sydney. The next events that I will be teaching will be my ultimate forecasting, are fairly high level in price. They cost $5,000. It includes a yearly Profit Hunter Group membership for those that book in before the 15th of June for that. We'll have a session in Bali in early July. That will be the forecasting webinar after I've been invited to speak in Singapore. I'll come back through Bali and we'll do a forecasting weekend there. So the Train the Chartist is here. And as I said, it'll be $5,000 for that. So we changed the Chartist Gold Coast, and in Sydney, the next one will be Canberra. So if you're looking for anything, there is Tim. Yes, it is in Canberra, and we're looking to do a Train the Chartist in Canberra on the June 18th. And weekend workshop 22nd, and that's the advanced technical analysis of forecasting. That's $5,000. As I said, it comes if you book in before June 15th, and then it's actually not held in Singapore. The technical people didn't quite get that right. It is in Bali, and if you want to come to Bali, it's included for a PhD. So you can pick up all of those things by profithunters.com.au events, and also if I'm doing anything like a event on gold, next week we'll have an event on gold. I'll be doing a training on gold and gold stocks. Train the Chartist. Yeah. Okay. It's all small. No, I've got a website lady who's doing that stuff now, a programmer, and she's getting tools and things. You can see all of these things here. Yeah, so you can see it all up in there. Okay, beautiful. Oh. Okay, thanks everyone. Okay, beautiful. Have a good one. See everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, see Mike. See you in Canberra too. Thanks, Robin. Good to see you back. And Sharon, yes, I do just want to surf Uluwatu and a few of the other places, and I'll do a seminar there. See you, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks, Terry.